Breakfast cereals, often perceived as a convenient and healthy start to the day, can be deceptively harmful to liver health due to their hidden sugar content. Even products marketed as whole grain or healthy frequently contain substantial amounts of added sugars, corn syrup, or other refined sweeteners designed to enhance flavor and appeal, particularly to children. When consumed regularly, these sugars cause rapid spikes in blood glucose and insulin, overloading the liver's metabolic capacity and promoting fat deposition. Over time, habitual intake of sweetened cereals can contribute to the silent development of non-alcoholic fatty liver disease, NEFLD, oxidative stress, and insulin resistance, establishing a foundation for chronic metabolic dysfunction long before symptoms emerge. The mechanism of harm is both straightforward and insidious. Cereals high in refined sugars deliver a rapid influx of glucose and fructose to the bloodstream. Fructose, in particular, is metabolized almost exclusively by the liver. Excess fructose is converted into triglycerides via de novo lipogenesis, directly contributing to hepatic fat accumulation. Elevated insulin levels triggered by the rapid glucose spike further stimulate fat storage within hepatocytes while simultaneously reducing the liver's capacity for fatty acid oxidation. This combination creates a metabolic environment primed for fat accumulation, low-grade inflammation, and oxidative stress, hallmarks of early liver injury that are often silent yet progressive. The problem is compounded by the perception of cereals as healthy. Consumers may eat multiple servings of sweetened cereals without realizing the cumulative sugar load, especially when cereals are paired with sweetened milk or fruit juices. Many so-called children's cereals contain sugar levels comparable to candy bars, and adult light or fitness cereals can still contain 10 to 15 grams of sugar per serving, far exceeding the daily recommended intake if consumed regularly. Repeated exposure to such high sugar loads overwhelms the liver's capacity for safe metabolism, gradually promoting hepatic fat deposition, insulin resistance, and systemic inflammation. The contrast with minimally processed breakfast options highlights the danger. Oatmeal, unsweetened muesli, or whole grain porridges deliver slow-release carbohydrates, fiber, and phytonutrients that blunt postprandial glucose spikes, reduce insulin surges, and improve satiety. Soluble fiber in oats, for example, slows gastric emptying and modulates gut microbiota, reducing the liver's exposure to rapid fructose influx and endotoxin-mediated inflammation. Polyphenol and antioxidants naturally present in whole grains further protect hepatocytes from oxidative stress, supporting the liver's capacity to metabolize fat efficiently and maintain metabolic balance. These benefits are largely absent in highly sweetened breakfast cereals, which prioritize flavor and convenience over metabolic safety. Children and adolescents are particularly vulnerable to the sugar-laden cereal trap. Early life consumption of sweetened cereals contributes to repeated insulin spikes, early fat deposition in the liver, and the development of metabolic programming that favors insulin resistance and obesity. Since NEFLD can develop silently, many children consuming high-sugar cereals daily may already have early hepatic fat accumulation by adolescence, creating long-term risk for liver disease, type 2 diabetes, and cardiovascular complications. Adults, too, are not immune. Habitual consumption of sugary cereals combined with other high-sugar foods and drinks throughout the day further compounds the metabolic stress on the liver. Beyond fat accumulation, chronic sugar exposure from cereals has broader implications. Elevated blood glucose and insulin promote systemic inflammation, oxidative stress, and endothelial dysfunction, all of which exacerbate liver stress and contribute to long-term metabolic disease. The liver, constantly processing both sugars and other dietary toxins, experiences cumulative damage, which can progress silently to fibrosis and even cirrhosis over decades if unhealthy dietary patterns persist. Practical strategies for mitigating these risks are clear. Consumers should read ingredient labels carefully, avoid cereals with added sugars, syrups, or sweetened flavorings, and prioritize slow-digesting, fiber-rich options such as oats, unsweetened muesli, or whole grain porridges. Pairing these with sources of protein or healthy fats can further stabilize blood glucose and support hepatic fat metabolism. Replacing sugary cereals with minimally processed alternatives not only reduces immediate sugar-induced liver stress, but also contributes to long-term metabolic resilience. In summary, breakfast cereals, despite their marketing as convenient or healthy, are often a hidden source of sugars that spike glucose, elevate insulin, and drive hepatic fat accumulation. Habitual consumption places the liver under repeated metabolic stress, increasing the risk of NAFLD and other chronic metabolic disorders. Choosing slow-release, fiber-rich cereals such as oatmeal or unsweetened muesli provides essential nutrients, stabilizes blood sugar, supports gut microbiota, and protects the liver from silent but progressive damage. The sugar trap in breakfast cereals is a stark example of how processed convenience foods can undermine metabolic health under the guise of nutrition.